Hello everyone. This particular tutorial is all about badging for recognition. Now we are going to be using a program called Badgr, and it integrates very nicely and seamlessly with Canvas. I want you to know that it's important to recognize and celebrate all your hard work and dedication. So badging is one way we can do that. And you can also have a backpack where you can collect badges from other organizations and other classes, because people are using badges whenever you take a class. You might be going to a conference, you might be taking an OEI review, you might be doing one aspect of an online class that someone's going to recognize you for all your hard work. All right, so let's get started and I'll explain how it all works. So first of all, we're going to go to badgr.com, badgr.com, and you will sign in if you already have an account, and if not, you are going to be creating an account. Now, this is good for you if you are new to badges and you want to create one for your class or activity, and it's also going to be good for you if you want to collect your badges that you're earned along the way. Okay, before I go on, I'm going to demonstrate 3 ways that you can make sure your badge that you earn goes into your backpack. But I want to make a note right here. This badge will automatically be added to your backpack if, when you first sign in to Badgr, that you use your college email. Then you won't have to upload or copy and paste the URL, and in this case the JSON, which I'll explain, is not going to be a part or baked into this particular badge. So I just want us to stop and pause and to remember that. Now, I'm not saying it's required that you use your college email. I'm just going to tell you it's going to be more seamless if you do. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so I already have an account and I am also an issuer. Now, this is something you'll get more familiar with when you start to issue badges. So I've just done a personal issuer, but if I was part of an organization, I would set up and create an issuer with that organization. Maybe if I was a part of the OEI CVC, I wouldn't use my personal information as an issuer, but I would actually set up an issuer as an organization, which has a lot of power behind it too, because then it's a stamp of approval from the OEI CVC. So just to review, you would be creating your badge for your class and activity by being an issuer and creating that information there. But right now I want to focus on the backpack, because this is where you are going to earn your badges in a class or organization or activity, and then you're going to be able to add your badge to your account. So you would come over to the backpack and you would see add badge, and then you have 3 ways that you can add a badge that you've received. Now that's going to be what's going to happen when you receive your badge in this particular class, EDUC 51. So first of all, you can download that image from the classroom once you've earned it, and you can upload it, or you can provide the URL from that badge, or JSON is something that would be embedded or baked into the badge, and you will be prompted if you earn a badge that has the JSON sign or stamp on it. Just to let you know, JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation, and it's usually going to be a badge that might be sent from a server to a web page, and it will again prompt you if this badge contains the JSON identification. The good news is it's usually going to be an image that you can upload, or you'll be able to link a URL. You will also have the opportunity to create a collection similar to what we have in Canvas Studio. So if you were going to be earning multiple badges, let's say the OEI CVC, because you took several classes, you could create a collection to store those badges in that just designated from a certain organization or perhaps a class, because you can earn multiple badges within a class. What I'd like to do right now is take you over to the classroom so you can see how you earn that badge. There's several ways to do it. I like to call that Tim Toady. There is more than one way to do it, but I'm going to try to simplify it for all of you so you get excited about maybe issuing a badge in your class. Okay, so now we're in EDUC 51, and I hope you have noticed that you have badges on your course menu. So I'm going to click on that badge area. And then this is going to show up, and it's going to show you the kind of badge that you can earn. Now, this is the information. I am going to be tracking your progress through week 8. And that is the module that we're all working on for the final project presentation. And how I've set it up and connected it is I'm asking you to either view or submit. And once you have completed everything in this particular module, it should trigger the badge because I have set it up that way. And that is going to be another aspect of the training that I will provide for all of you, because I think it's important to see how you set up a badge, but also how you earn a badge as a student. So I just want to show you this student view. There are some things that have not been done by the student view, so it would not trigger that badge. And that's why if you would go over to the badge, and I'll take you there, since I did not complete everything in the module, and I made it simple, so the things that I wanted you to view have view on it, and the things that I wanted you to submit, there's 3 things. And just to note that because I embedded the Padlet within the 8-week discussion, it isn't going to appear as if you participated because you're not posting and replying. So what I did is I made this just simply view. That way if you touched it by clicking on it when inside, whether you participated or not in the post and the reply to your fellow classmates, it would be picked up as completed. So again, notice this particular test student has not turned in everything and there's not check marks for everything. Okay, so this is another reason it's important to look at the module as a whole. And that's just going to take some brainstorming on your part to help your students to be able to do that, because there's a lot of information in this module structure for students to see. I have items broken out with headers, heading titles with more information, and so I think it's just important, and we talked about this before, to include this in your Getting Started video tour for your class, just so students can see the structure. And when it comes to badging, it's going to be very important. Now, just as a side note to that, I have selected the module to be completed in its entirety. You can actually set up a badge where there's only one item that needs to be completed. So you could set up a whole new module just for the badge and have students do a quiz, do their final, and then when that is done and completed through the module, and we set up prereqs and requisites, that it would trigger the badge. Okay? Just want you to understand the behind the scenes. So if this student completed everything, they should be able to go back to badges and see this light up. And then that way they would be able to download the image, or they would be able to link it with the URL. So you can find out more about the badge and the criteria. Most likely, an instructor would include that criteria in the body of the module with an informational piece. But if not, you can actually view the criteria to earn the badge. And so it would take you to some information where it will give you that criteria. So it's really, it's a great way to recognize your students, and in this case you will have something to put in your backpack. So I'm excited to share this with you, and I'm also excited to show you how you can set up badging as an instructor. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up from here, and then we'll go on, and I know you will be able to tell me if you have received the badge for EDUC 51. So the good news is, because this is all made within Canvas and the badges is in here, I've assigned it the last module, week 8, and for all those 3 assignments and everything in the module to be either viewed or submitted. The badge should automatically upload to your Badgr backpack. But of course you have to make sure you have an account. And please make sure that you have your college email, because what you have used in Canvas as your email needs to match how you sign up for Badgr. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's okay. You're just going to have to get your badge into the backpack in the 3 ways that I showed you, and most likely it'll be downloading the image and uploading it, or the URL from the class. So it sounds easy. We'll see how it goes. Please keep me informed, and I appreciate your attention. Thank you very much.